you talked about the states have information on the citizens. Is there any way that the citizens can find out what information is compiled on them, and if they want to get this information, is it our right to have it and not the state's right?
What did you do? That's what I want to know. Can you? That was a joke, but that's a state-by-state issue. There is no regulation that the feds have that cuts across the states. There are some privacy rules, certainly, that the states have to abide by, but presently, as far as I know, most states have either disaggregate or they have an enterprise architecture that pretty much doesn't even exist, put it that way. That they've just got databases all over the place. So if you wanted to know what's been collected about you, you'd probably have to fill out a FOIA form, Freedom of Information Act, and probably hand it out to every single agency and say, so what have you got on me? There is no rule that says they have to tell you everything, as far as I know. In 2004, this is what I can tell you that I know. In 2004, the National Association of State Chief Information Officers, which is sort of a trade association for all the CIOs for every state in the United States, they got together and said, we need to harmonize our policy of FIPs with the Federal Trade Commission's FIP standards. And what that meant was they issued a very thick document saying, okay, you need to do things like notice. You need to give people choice. You need to give people access. You need to give people redress. You need to provide security. And so far, pretty much every state said, that's really great. We'd love to do that. Who's going to pay for it? And I have this conversation once a month with the head of the Department of Information Technology in the state of Michigan, who asked me, please come in and help us. And I say, this is what you got to do. And they say, and who's going to pay for it? Ask the people in Michigan who's going to pay for it. Will they pay another 5 cents if I want to give them this? Or what's it going to cost? So that's, if you wanted to, you could probably spend a lot of time and track it down through FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. Otherwise, there's absolutely nothing to help you out right now. Anybody else? Gloom and doom. Yes.
We've got time for one more question. You mentioned something, going back to a much earlier part of the talk, you talked about privacy policies being a marketing tool.
Yes.
And every privacy policy I've read coming from banks or whatever has this long list of things they can do with your data, kind of implying, oh, this is all we'll do with it. And then at the end there's this little clause, or anything else allowed by law.
Well, so what do you want me to say? Yes.
Does that really mean that basically what that privacy policy says is we're going to do anything with the data we please?
To my knowledge. That's those people don't read that fine print, and even if they do, people want their credit cards and they want those relationships, so they give it up. Yes, the privacy policy. When it comes to banks, that's different. When it comes to banks, insurers, and other financial agents, they've got to conform to Gramm-Leach-Bliley, which is this whole federal regulation that regulates financial information. And when, HIPAA does health. But when it comes to actually just the policy about, say, things that aren't covered by Gramm-Leach-Bliley, they can do what they want. And when I say that they are marketing tools, I'll be very honest, I was really thinking more about websites than I was those long fine print things that you get in the mail, which are really cover my backside tools. I have to follow what the federal government tells me. I'm going to send you this to tell you. And what's the first thing they say? We here at JoeBlow.com or Joe Blow Insurance, we care about your privacy. We're going to protect it to the full extent possible. In doing that, we may collect the name of your firstborn, what color eyes she has, what she likes to eat, and don't worry, we'll protect it, but every once in a while we may have to share it with our treasured partners. And, so that means anybody who wants it and pays a dime for it can have it. So not to be extreme in that statement, but I do believe, I think you may even know that better than I, Professor Clifton, how that's probably true. So yes, I think they're marketing tools to assuage risk perceptions and concern about privacy. Anybody else? Social engineering. I'm telling you, we need social engineers now. That's my call. I know you guys say, you're a psychologist. I'm a social engineer. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.